This is a revised video for Objective 3.1 practice tasks. The first step is to open the Access 3-1 database and do the following. Use the Simple Query Wizard to create a detailed query that contains all the fields in the campaign expenses table. So I'm going to go up to Create, and I'm going to click on Query Wizard, and I'm creating a simple query, and I'm going to hit OK. And we are going to be pulling these fields from the campaign expenses table. Once you find the campaign expenses table, you're going to hit the double arrows to move over all of the fields. And then the next direction says to name the query Moss Access Query 1. So I'm just going to hit Next. It's already detailed. Hit Next. And I'm going to type in Moss Access Query 1. Once you hit Finish, it shows you a preview of this object, and you're going to close out of this query. The next step then is to use the Query Designer to create a select query based on the marketing campaigns table. So I'm going to hit Create again, Query Design, and we're going to go to the marketing campaigns table. So I just double click to add that. Close out of that table, and I'm going to drag this. That's the Show Table dialog box. You would get it and close it from up here, and you can add tables or queries, and then of course both are listed on that tab. So this is the Show Table dialog box. I closed out of that. Dragging these down as you add these objects will be helpful to you and make things a little bit quicker. The next step then is to add specific fields from this table. The fields that we're going to add are campaign ID, country, and campaign budgets. So if you just double click on each of those fields, they'll appear down here in your design grid. You can also hit the drop down arrow here if you choose the wrong one, but keep in mind it has to be the table down here that you want. The next step then is to save this as Moss Access Query 2. So I'm going to hit Save, or you can hit Control S, and I'm going to type in Moss Access Query 2. Then I'm going to convert this to an update table or an update query. So I'm going to click Update, and then what this will do is it will actually update this table with whatever information I put down here. So we're going to convert the query to an update query to increase campaign budgets by 10%. So underneath campaign budget, we want to update to, we are going to multiply the campaign budget, so the field has to be, oops, excuse that, the field has to be in brackets down here, and you're going to type in campaign budget, and this has to be typed exactly as it is up top. So it's going to take that campaign budget and multiply it by 1.1. Once you multiply it by 1.1, you can hit Run. Oops. And see, this is actually good. I spelled campaign incorrectly, so I got an error message. I'm going to hit Cancel. I'm going to go back down. Then hit Run, and this is the message that you're looking for, that 9 rows are about to be updated. So I'm going to hit Yes, and you can actually open up the campaign budget table if you want, and you will be able to see how that update query affected that table. Then it says to close out of the query, so I'm just going to hit Save and Close, and if you scroll down over here, you'll see Moss Access Query 2, which is the update query down at the bottom. Then we're going to use the Query Designer to create a select query based on the campaign expenses, campaign expense types, and marketing campaigns table. So I'm going to hit Create, then go to Query Design, and the first table was campaign expenses, then campaign expense types, and marketing campaigns table. So I'm going to close out of the Show Table dialog box. I'm going to drag each one of these tables down so I can see all of the fields. And then it says from the marketing campaign, add campaign ID and country. Then it says from the campaign expenses table, add expense type. And then from the campaign expenses table, the other campaign expenses table, we're going to add amount spent. So you're going to double click amount spent. Then save the query as Moss Access Query 3. So I hit Control S, and I typed in Moss Access Query 3. And then now convert this query to a crosstab query. Use the amount spent field as the value field, and then use the country field as the row heading field and the expense type field as the column heading. Select sum in the total row for the amount spent. So to convert this to a crosstab, you're just going to click up here where it says crosstab on the design tab. Once it's converted to a crosstab, then down here you can decide amount spent is going to be sum, country is the row heading, expense type is the column heading, and amount spent is the value that's going to be used. You can go ahead and hit save, and then if you want to run this, you'll see what it looks like. And I'm going to close out of this and then open up the tasks query in design view. So I'm going to right click on the tasks query, go to design view, and then open the show table dialog box and add the marketing campaigns table to the query. So I'm going to click on show table up here on the design tab, and then I'm going to click on marketing campaigns table. Just double click that, close out of the show table dialog box. And then from the marketing campaigns table, add the country field to the query. Then run the query to display the results. Then I'm going to go back to design view. Then open the show table dialog box again and add the employee table to the query. So I'm going to click on the show table dialog box, double click employees, close out of the show table dialog box. And remove the campaign table. So I'm going to right click on the marketing campaign table and hit remove to remove that. Then I'm going to join the tasks in the employees table by using these two fields, employee ID and assign to. So I'm going to drag this down. Employee ID, in order to create a join between these two tables, I'm going to make sure this is down, which I'm just going to click. Employee ID needs to be dropped directly on assigned to in the tasks table. So now these two queries are going to be linked up. We're going to further edit this join by including all of the records from the tasks table. To do that, we're going to right click on this join line, go to join properties, and we're going to choose option 2, then hit OK. And then we're also going to add assigned to down here into the design grid. Go ahead and hit run, and then you can see how the two tables then got linked up in this specific query. And if you want, you can go to the tasks table, and this is a better view of how it gets linked up, because each one of these sub data sheets is now appearing underneath each one of these records, and this information then is being pulled from the employee table. So each employee's task is under with each employee task ID has a comment about that task. And then this completes objective 3.1 practice tasks.